Yep, and we're live, and I've genuinely lost track of what happened in the first innings right now. Some ballistic hitting and probably the most comprehensive batting performance I've seen, not just in World Cup history, probably ODI history. In my ODI history, correction, jitna maine dekha hai. We of course got Gurkirat, we've got Nikhil as well to talk more about what did we just see. Gurkirat, let's start with you. You didn't mention how you watched the game. Do you want to tell the viewers as well how it was, what the performance was like?
Yeah, you just felt that with India batting, it's something that we discussed that India could really outbat Netherlands. The score was very close to Nikhil's prediction of 408. I predicted 370. But yeah, again, the tone was set by Rohit when he attacked Aryan Dutt, because Aryan Dutt so far in this tournament has been pretty good for Netherlands, in the sense that even if he's not taken wickets, he has provided control. India were 90 for no loss. Gill also started to go big. And then you just felt that, this innings will go probably at autopilot in the middle overs, where India will still manage to go at 6.5. And then come the last 10, 15, India will explode once again. So very good for India that both KL and Shreyas have got hundreds. Shreyas has now had a third 50 plus score in a row, first versus Sri Lanka, then versus South Africa, and then today. So it's good to see Iyer get that 100, because last game you felt that maybe if Iyer had not started taking those risks, he could have also tried to get that 100. So good that he got it. KL, who had just narrowly missed out in that first game, now that also it's a good feeling for him also, that he's got that box ticked. Had one in the previous World Cup, and in the previous World Cup as well, it was the last league game where KL got 100. So just a few similarities in that regard. But yeah, uh, very good pitch to bat on, and Indian batters made merry. Another thing that Nikhil said, that if the pitch is very good, you wouldn't really expect Sky to bat, and he just got to bat one delivery. So आज 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 सही दिवाली निकाली है इन्होंने भी. मतलब if he was playing poker, could have won. Or maybe he
खेल
would
रहे
have,
होंगे
but
निखिल
he's
भाई,
not
पता भी नहीं
revealing
है,
his
दिवाली में तो
earnings.
होता है ना ये सब. नहीं नहीं. Anyways, coming back to the game once again, Gurkira did mention a couple of very interesting points there. Nikhil bhai, in terms of how the innings progressed, first 10 overs 91 runs, next 10 overs 49, then 73, then 71, and then 126. You also briefly mentioned off air ki, Kohli probably played a bit too slow for your liking. What did you make of that? Do you think, again, was that a milestone oriented approach, or do you think that's how Kohli plays? That is his natural game.
नहीं स्लो नहीं है. It is. I don't think it was the easiest to start. So again, it's not about the slow. तो ऐसा सब कुछ भी randomly out of context quote मत करो. क्योंकि you saw him play that shot versus, I'm not able to recollect the bowler, but he almost got caught at mid off. Trying to hit on the up. So that is something we've seen in the past. It did not quite work out, and sometimes when it goes down, you feel like, oh, it's a risk very early. They wanted to keep going because I think Gill and Rohit, it seemed effortless, the way those two were going. But I think Netherlands were smart enough to just pull the lens and start bowling a lot more slower ones, because you saw them bowl slow balls even in the later half, and even set guys were missing it at times. So there was that some help for the bowlers. So that's where again, which is where that slowdown. That second 10, you saw that slowdown because Rohit, I felt for the very first time, was very keen to bat deep, and Kohli was just taking his, and rightly so, just taking his time to get to the right pace, because you saw that once Rohit got out, there was a period of play where it was almost like Kohli just had a switch. Okay, by up switch turn on, and you suddenly saw a lot of boundaries coming through. So I think maybe had that happened earlier, maybe Rohit wouldn't have wanted to take that risk. But I mean, it just plays out the way it has to some days. So you can't ask for more there.
Fair enough. And let's just have a look at the match summary. Again, first, only the fourth instance in ODI history where all top five batters have gotten a half century, got into a half century. Two of those also ended up scoring a century there. Unfortunately, neither of them being a certain Virat Kohli, something most of the fans today at Chinnaswamy would have been hoping for. Nikhil Bhai, Gurkirat again, Shreyas Iyer, fantastic 128, unbeaten 128. KL Rahul with another brilliant knock. Especially, again, it's not like they were under pressure or anything, but given the kind of surface that was on offer, this was exactly the kind of innings someone would have expected, Surya Kumar Yadav to play. But for KL to come in and do that, I'm just trying to remember all those people, who were like, "हाँ, ईशान किशन को खेलना चाहिए KL Rahul के पहले," just like a couple of months ago. All of you guys, if you could just sort of come back and remind me again how much, the left-handedness of Ishan Kishan would have helped. Gurkeet, like in hindsight, all of this seems is ridiculous, right? KL and Shreyas, both of them received a lot of flack. Ki why are they being brought in? Shouldn't Ishan Kishan come in? Shouldn't this guy come in? Shouldn't Samson be played? All of that.
Even without
So
hindsight, it was ridiculous. Please
yes,
continue.
and I was
Yeah,
with you guys on this. So
yeah.
please
So
go ahead.
both of us never, I think, had that opinion, whether it's on the show or otherwise on our groups, because we've had this discussion. One major reason that was being talked about uh, for Ishan Kishan to be included in the 11 was that, okay, his left-handedness will help India, negate that left arm threat. But we saw that in that game versus Sri Lanka, where in Asia Cup, where Velalage took five, that it was KL Rahul who looked far more comfortable playing Velalage than Ishan Kishan. So it's not necessary that a left-handed batter will necessarily help you play a left-arm spinner on difficult decks better than what your right-handers would do. So as far as I think both of us are concerned, we never had that. There is someone else in our team who wanted that, but okay, it's okay. So yeah, I'm happy for KL because say if India go into the semi, and they again have a situation where you need someone to come in at 5 and make sure that you could get those 20-30 extra runs, especially if the conditions are flat, then this knock of KL today will help India in that regard. And he's batted aggressively at 5 at times, but while he's batted aggressively, sometimes he's gotten out after a 50 plus score, or sometimes even before scoring that 50. So it's not that he hasn't shown this intent. He's shown this intent, but today he got to that 100. So good signs for India. Yes, you can probably talk about that the opponent's not the strongest, but you can't really do anything about it. You still have to go and execute whatever your role is. And today, both Shreyas and KL did it to near perfection. And runs are runs. They will still, give both of them, give the team a lot of confidence that if we get to a score like 180 for two after end of 30 overs, we can then look at scoring 150, 160 in the next 20. So that bodes well for the team.
fair enough. And Nikhil, in terms of Iyer's performance today, a very interesting question. This by, if I'm not wrong, it was Neural Hacks with Vasant. Yeah, top performer, KL or Iyer? Whose innings? Like, how would you sort of look at this?
I think they're both equally important in terms of, I would say it'll be hard to pick one over the other. Which one did I enjoy the more? It'll probably be 51-49 because of that slice that KL played. Unreal skill. It is, and not everybody is able to play a shot like that. MS once played this of Siraj, uh, and he sliced a very full ball down there, and I
क्यों
remember
आप
that
ऐसे
Siraj.
आज क्यों याद दिलाते हो? मेरे को समझ नहीं आता। मैं मतलब
I mean,
पर्सनली आपके साथ कुछ चल रहा है क्या?
it's only about the shots, and there is also that the flick that Rahul plays from the crease, and those are typical KL Rahul classics that we've come used to seeing. And again, just another day in terms of acceleration. KL Rahul came in. I think the poor guy is always under the scrutiny. कि यार ये fast नहीं खेल रहा. अरे पर भाई is almost going at 90, 100, 90, 100 at all points of time, and then they were all playing to the roles very, very well, be it Shreyas Iyer or be it KL Rahul. So probably over the slices probably just makes me a bit more biased towards KL Rahul, but nothing else to separate the two.
Fair enough. And slice by Rahul, probably KL isn't the first Rahul to play that, because I remember Rahul Dravid also doing that two stored
And
broad.
just to mention, I hope everybody caught that good Rahul Dravid moment where they showed the 1999 montage where they showed him coming good, and then the camera pans to Rahul and he's like, yes, I've done that. Now, that's not the version of Rahul Dravid that we've grown up or getting used to. So it is good that that's how the dressing room is, because again, no body language expert certificates being handed out, but just a good moment to see.
100% the way the team, I mean, there's something even Ravi Shastri sort of pointed at when, the buggy cam was being covered by Ashwin and all of that. They were having a bit of banter, a bit of pranks going around in the dressing room. Always good to see. But Gurkirat, in terms of Netherlands and their bowling performance today, Pranav Mohanlal, he has an interesting question. He asks us, how do you rate the Netherlands' death bowling? Felt they did reasonably well with a sensible plan to bowl slow ones into the pitch. Became too predictable in the end, but that's the best they could do. And before you can answer, guys, that's the best probably Netherlands could do, but you can definitely do better than this. Please, please, please make sure you're hitting the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you've also subscribed to us if you haven't already. इंडिया ने तो 410 मार दिया, अभी अपना टारगेट फिलहाल यहाँ पे 25 का है. Please make sure you're hitting the like button right now. And Gurkirat, yep, you can take the stage.
Yeah, it's not just the death bowling, but you felt that they tried to bowl slower and into the deck to get whatever grip that is of the surface, to ensure that some shots which were going through the line, those can be avoided. But see, both Shreyas and KL were pretty much set going into the last run, so they had the measure of the wicket, and they were not in any kind of pressure to sort of do anything silly or do anything which comes unnatural to them. So it can happen sometimes. You can do whatever the best that but the opposition can be better. And today was that kind of a day. The short boundaries also don't help. So yeah, they'll probably see if they could probably execute a lot more Yorkers, because those slower ones also became predictable a little bit towards the end.
Nikhil bhai, what about you in terms of if you, I mean, not rate exactly, but how would you sort of look at this Netherlands performance in the last end particularly?
Yeah, I think it was fair. Uh, it's a surface where you go for runs, and a lot of teams have travelled, and which is fair and fine as well. I think Scott also rotated his bowlers decently. Uh, got started with Bazali, then went to Van Beek, and then even Van Beek bowled good slower ones to Rahul. He was able to beat him, and then when he went for the pace one, so he got hit. So I mean, that's the risk that you'll always run, right? कि तुमने तीन slower ball डाल दिया, फिर if you again bowl the slower one, everybody will be like, why are you bowling the slower one? He's not waiting for it. So you're going for the change-up, but now he's penetrated the change-up and he's getting the gap. So I think it's also a great learning curve. It's something that I tweeted as well, that this will really help Netherlands learn a lot more about what are the potential options for them going forward, in terms of can they change something else? Can they do something else? And as Padi said, even the ground isn't the best one where you say, okay, you can you can control at the end. I mean, we've seen this for decades now at Bangalore. Okay, once the run starts to flow, it's very difficult to control that tap. So I think now that that is done, I'm really looking forward to them just looking to apply themselves. Now, different people will look at this as differently. I want them to just look at it as we want to bat 50 overs. I'm not thinking about the target immediately. Get yourself in and then see what you can do. There is no other way that you learn as opposed to learning facing them here and right here and under pressure, which is fine. But then this is the occasion that you deserve to be in. So get in there, dig in, bad deed. We also want to do a review at 10 o'clock only, no problems. आप अपने हिसाब से time लो, सीखो, because you want that. The game needs that. The game needs more sides to not go the Bangladesh way and to go the Afghanistan way.
I'll just add on to that. Even if they are say able to reach 1 for 45 or 1 for 50, they may not be able to chase the score, but it is still an achievement given how the Indian paces have bowled. If against this Indian pace attack you can manage 1 for 45 after the first power play, you've done a decent job. You've at least given yourself a chance to reach 270, 280, which I think only one team has done. Only Afghanistan has
Afghan,
reached
yeah, that's the highest
272.
score against India, 272. Yeah.
Yeah, and New Zealand also got 273 or something. So no one's crossed 280. So just they should just aim that, okay, we'll try to get we'll aim to make the highest score versus India. If they can keep that aim and bat accordingly, it is fine. Later on someone will definitely say, oh, this is against spirit of the cricket and all that nonsense. But see, there's only so much that a team like Netherlands can control, and they should look at this opportunity to maximize it for themselves.
So again, Gurkeet, what are some of the names you're looking at in terms of maximizing this? Since you mentioned that playing 50 overs should be their primary objective, and then probably look at it further, look at it beyond that. Who are some of the batters you're looking at? Baresi probably.
Berezi's been in good touch. O'Dowd was looking in good touch versus Afghanistan. So you'd want both of them to at least give a start, semi-decent start, if not a decent start. And from there on, let the batters bat on the merit of the delivery. And if you just want to try and be funky or see something, if something can work or put India off their plans, promote Vander Merwe. Ask him to swing. वैसे तो the score is too big that even if he has say 30 ball 50, India should not be in trouble, but it could just put some interest in the game or bring something into the game.
And Nikhil bhai, of course, the most important question right now, कोहली को bowling मिलने वाला है आज? Because हर कोई तो वही पूछ रहा है यहाँ पे. नहीं.
No, I don't think so. They'll stick to the 5 bowler strategy. I don't think there's a need for that. Or need hota and you're doing it, then it is completely different. I don't want to take any risk with this top 3. They're doing their job well. Let them continue to do so. Then I bowling to Surya Kumar ko do. Maybe if you want to at all, but no, I would want to back this 5, and because we'll see, you could potentially need them in the knockouts as well. You hope not, but अगर जरूरत पड़ा तो again, if it's a part of the plan for the future, maybe yeah, फिर वो in swinging menace जो भी तुमने उस पे जैसे भी describe किया है, use him, but if not, then no.
Yeah, ideally you wouldn't want him to bowl in the knockouts because the last time he did,
नहीं आगे नहीं करके आगे बढ़.
No, the last time he did take a wicket, but no, yeah. Let's not sort of drag it too long. But Nikhil bhai, in terms of Netherlands batting and batters in particular, what are some of the names you're looking at to sort of if Netherlands want to be able to play out those 50 overs and actually reach a reasonable score, if not 411?
Ideally, I'd want Wesley and Maxwell out to start well, but I really feel Siraj. Both of them have at times been very stuck at the crease. So if Siraj gets his line right, he could get both of them out LBW or caught in slips like that, or looking to clip early. So if they're able to see off the new ball spell, then again, Max Without is a good gap finder, so is Wesley Baresi. So, I mean, they'll need people to come in without feeling a lot of pressure. If they come in at 15 for 2, 20 for 3, तो फिर जो भी आएगा वो प्रेशर में मिस्टेक करने ज़्यादा चांस उसका likely है. So that is something that I'm hoping that doesn't happen. And I also feel Scott should bat higher up the order, probably at 4 if he wants to. Hold on to Baz Delete, Logan Van Beek and Teja. Hold karo unko, send Scott in, help just stabilize the innings, and then you take it from there. But I mean, इससे अच्छा conditions नहीं मिलेगा. Bangalore is a good batting wicket, you know that. So get in and then get tested, which is good, and learn a lot.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, Iris Stark with another fantastic stat, that 85-55 failure, 103-95 failure, 88-101 failure. We know what the next 2 games are going to be like for India. Geez, man, that's something. And if this sort of turns out to be thrown, then I mean, if he's able to maintain this pattern for the next couple of games, nothing like it. I'm 100% sure that's what pretty much all of Team India fans will be.
It's funny that a 50 is being labeled as a failure. Statistically, it is. Given the average is 58, 59, 51 is a failure.
Hello, average hai, bas, khatam baat.
That's just how high the standards are.
That's how high. I mean, the man has set his standards, to be honest, and there's a reason why he was supposedly out of form in the last 3 years, or the better part of the last 3 years, and all of that jazz. But once again, in terms of India's batting, it's just been so great to see. Because, of course, yeah, people can play it down by saying, "Arey surface dekho, arey opposition dekho, vagera, vagera," and all of that. But again, going into the next stage, which is, of course, the semi-finals, which is going to be against New Zealand in Mumbai, Nikhil bhai, no better prep than this, right?
Yeah, I mean, see, you can look at it the way you want to. Everybody has played their part in difficult circumstances on different kind of decks and adapted. So going into the knockouts, that is what you want. Okay, we haven't played on similar type of surfaces. We've played in different conditions under different pressure. against attacks that are built differently. So again, as you said, इससे ज़्यादा आप नहीं कर सकते कुछ. इसके बाद if you have a department that doesn't turn up, so be it. You can't fault the preparation, or you can't fault the uh, process through which you have gone to the semis. तो ऐसा भी नहीं हुआ है कि you had a game where you lucked out. नहीं हुआ ऐसा. You've gained ascendancy on the back of some good performances by, again, it is not even like say Australia जहाँ पे at times you felt कि similar people have done the job. For India, you've seen almost everybody come through, and it's a hallmark that even with Hardik Pandya injured, this team has looked so clear that you are not missing that sixth bowler as of now, or nor are you missing that batting. So again, all of those could come into picture in the knockouts, but so far, whatever they could do with whatever's there with them, they've done their best. Because I don't think Ashwin can come back into the consideration now, or for the final if they go there. So it is mostly going to be this 11. So let's just hope they continue to get the basics done right.
Yeah, even Shardul won't find a place now. It's
Yeah.
difficult, and for right reasons. So,
Yeah.
see, uh, you know, at some point of time, it will sound as if we are probably giving a defense, or trying to defend for the odd failure that happens. But see, we've also criticized the team management, the coach, the captain a lot when we have felt that there has been a lack of process. Now, one thing that I feel people really need to understand, which is something that KL Rahul said, I think it was in the last IPL, 2022 IPL, or was it before, where he said that winning and losing is not in our control. Now, it's a very valid statement. It's even more valid if you're talking about T20s, because some days you could try anything and everything that you have, but it will not work, or the opposition is better. Like today, how it happened with Netherlands with the ball. It can happen. So, and the only thing that you can do to avoid is prepare better, and you've already seen signs of it, like how India have, whenever they've been tested, they found a way through different people to win games. So the preparation has been good. More or less, you can say the the issue that they've struggled against has been left arm pace. Now you've clearly seen from the beginning of Asia Cup that Rohit has been trying to set himself up for the in swinger, at least for the first 2 to 3 overs. So that is the most that as players you can do, or as a team management, that you prepare in the best way possible. But yeah, if things are not in your control, or if someone plays better, despite everything or the kind of tournament that Rohit has had, he still got a Jaffa versus Sri Lanka and had to walk back. So can't really control those kind of occurrences.
Fair enough. I was just having a look at KL Rahul's beehive and some of those cut shots that he played. He played a couple of those cut shots off Vandermerwe from the stumps. I just wanted to sort of put this question out there. Is he the most complete batter that India have right now? In terms of range, in terms of his ability to, play the situation, accelerate, arrest the collapse, all of that. Gurkirat, let's start with you.
It's funny that uh, if someone will say that this right now, like in terms of his technical prowess, more people will agree than if you had said the same thing 2 years ago. When in reality, not much has changed in his technical game. It's been like that, but that is how perception works. And again, if I say today, in the next knockout game, if he doesn't perform, or the two warm-up games he doesn't perform, that perception will still go away. So for a long time, he's been technically good. He's had the range, he's had the shots, he's had the defensive game, which is why he succeeded in England and South Africa. It's just that sometimes there has been cross format mixing in terms of his criticism, which also was mostly uh, due to his intent issues in one format, and not anything or everything else. So he's been like that for some time now. It's only that in this World Cup and just before it, that the full unlocking of potential is happening, and I still feel that more unlocking of potential can happen if India end the World Cup on a right note with the South Africa tour coming up, and then the consequent IPL, etc., etc. Because he's someone who will carry that confidence.
All right, Nikhil bhai, what about you?
भाई हम तो पहले से उसी ट्रेन पे हैं और उसी ट्रेन पे रहेंगे जब तक कुछ चेंज नहीं होता. आई थिंक वी हैव डिस्कस दिस इन द पास्ट फॉर बोथ द टेस्ट एंड द T20 format as well. I've almost been fighting a lone battle there in terms of trying to explain why he's doing what he's doing in that format of the game. Maybe this is the World Cup where that frees him up in terms of clarity, and the management, whoever he works with, is able to give him that confidence that it's not just your responsibility. Forget about it. You do what the best you can, and then we'll see more of the skill round. That's all that I've had to say since the start of maybe last IPL.
Fair enough. A bit about the other centurion, Nikhil bhai. Shreyas Iyer also was one of the names that people were criticizing a lot. Even into the World Cup, it did seem like he was sort of staring down the barrel, bottom of the barrel. Sorry, in terms of the performances that he came up with at the beginning of the World Cup. Bharat Sundaresan rightly pointed out that since he shaved and trimmed his mustache and just maintained that only mustache look, he's gone on to have an 82, 77 and an unbeaten 128 today. Again, is there anything else? Like, is it just a perception game, or do you think Shreyas Iyer is well and truly back in form?
I can never chip into these kind of analysis. कोई experience ही नहीं है इसका.
नहीं, इसके लिए अलग 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 डिग्री चाहिए होता है, अलग डिग्री चाहिए.
Maybe if he had changed his turban or bandana, I would have said something. But this is
Fair enough. Fair enough. But again, just to wrap this up, Shreyas Iyer, in terms of his performances, especially in the last 3 games, Nikhil bhai, you can probably start with this. Like, again, is he well and truly back in form? Would that be fair assessment to make, or do you think he was never out of form to begin with? He was always shipping in with those decent 20s, 30s.
See, he's played to his role well. Something that he said may have been very, very passionate when he made that comment that I was always doing what was required of me. And when you're going to play shots, you will get out. And invariably, you are more likely to get out to a shot that you are not always going to be able to control. So that is something that can also happen with him. And it is not to say that by a good short ball will not trouble. A good short ball troubles everybody. Hassan Mahmood got Rohit Sharma out as well. In England got Rohit Sharma out on the pool as well in England. So ऐसा नहीं है कि you can't get out. It's just on that very given day, are we able to be selective, and are we able to make that change? Okay, this is the one I want to go after. This is the one I don't want to go after. I think with time, Shreyas has probably gotten better at that. But the challenge in the knockouts will still remain different. Different venue, different bowling attack, different style of attack in terms of Trent will bowl short and Kyle Jamieson अगर खेलता है तो he'll bowl short there. So it will be challenged. But again, he's playing at Wankhede. We saw what he did at that ground versus Sri Lanka. So it's not that test नहीं होगा test. But see, we are living in a time where everybody is one dismissal away from being a anything label kind of basher or a ARC अभी कर रहा है. I just think we are just waiting for people to fail to give them back that label के रुको हमने तो आपको पहले ही बोला था कि आप यही हो. So I think we just need to have that patience also, just generally, not singling out or pointing at anyone, be it Shreyas, be it Virat, because this is Virat's 9th dismissal against left arm spin since 2022, most for anyone. But will that make you drop him or say कि यार ये left arm Sandner और Rachin को अच्छा नहीं खेलेगा? No. तो डेटा है, yes, people will get out average 20 का है, he'll get better, he'll get test, and he'll work on that as well. So everybody will work. Rose, it may not come off. So let's just look at the process के क्यों हुआ, आउट हुआ, कैसे आउट हुआ. जैसे just one example, Trent bowled Shreyas Iyer dismissal, you feel Trent bowled was at fault. But Shreyas Iyer dismissal versus Pakistan, not Shreyas Iyer's fault. He hit the ball very well, just found the fielder. तो वो have that context as well कि कब वो जरूरी था, कब वो जरूरी नहीं था, और क्या कंट्रोल में थे नहीं थे. So just look at the bigger picture and then just one or two metrics to take a call.
And on that bit about Virat versus left arm spin, sometimes there has to be awareness within the team itself about what is a better matchup for which batter, and when the other batter also has to try and protect the other batter. that is what you call a partnership batting. The best example I saw of that in this World Cup, I don't know if it was by design or it just happened, was when Gurbaz was going great guns versus England. Ibrahim hardly faced Topley with the new ball, which was going to be an issue for him. So there are ways to work over weaknesses and find a way.
And there is no shame in that. And there is no shame in having a matchup or a partner taking care of each other. Chris Lynn and Sunil Narayan played out seasons for KKR just doing that. So this is how cricket works. So it's मतलब ऐसा भी नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि if he's not able to do this, so that it's okay. Everybody has phases. You have to help your partner out in any which ways.
Interesting, and also to be honest, even when I had named Shreyas Iyer as my player to watch out for, at the end of the league stage, 421 runs at an average in excess of 70 and a strike rate in excess of 100 is something even I hadn't imagined. So to see him score those runs, to see him in such good form, in such good nick, is always very heartening to see. Time to wrap the review up, guys. One last thing, prediction time. How much do you think Netherlands is ending up with? Let's quickly wrap it up. Gurkirat, let's start with you. Netherlands 50 overs, 412 or 413?
Hopefully 250.
ये देखो भाई, मतलब ऑप्टिमिज्म है ही नहीं दुनिया में, बताओ निखिल
भाई
भाई।
तूने 239 बोला था, उतना उन्होंने 40 ओवर में बना लिया.
हाँ, वो वसंत नारायण ने पूछा था हाउस डाउन अंडर डूइंग अंडरडॉग करके, इसीलिए हम थोड़ा शांत है अभी, शांत. बट यू नेवर नो, हो सकता है.
Yeah, I hope it is about. It'll be very great if they can cross 300. But yeah, something similar to what Paji said. But it'll be great. I love it if they're able to bat 50 and get to around 300. Massive, massive. Lovely, would be great to watch that.
Well, fingers crossed, Netherlands win the game today. I'm hoping that they really are able to chase something, chase us down. That'll be fantastic to watch, 100%. No offense to, of course, our bowlers. I know it's not going to be easy. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for the mid-innings review. Already first wicket is down. Nikhil bhai ne apne haath khade kar diye वहाँ पे.
Siraj, मैं बोला था Siraj Max Wesley Baresi stuck at the crease, caught in the slips. बताओ. वीडियो के बीच में वीडियो कट नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है.
ये बिट भी क्लब करके डाल देना सोशल मीडिया पे, जो भी देख रहा है.
मैसेज उसी को मुबारक. कट इट यार, कट इट.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, once again, make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't already. Also, please do subscribe to us if you haven't already. We will hopefully not come back before 10 o'clock because that's how much time Netherlands will need to chase 410. थोड़ा टारगेट बड़ा, इसीलिए टाइम भी थोड़ा दे देंगे उनको. 10 बजे से पहले भाई आराम से नहीं मिलते. Let's hope 10 बजे के बाद ही मिलेंगे. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us. Have a great game. Thank you so much.
Cheers,